of fees possible, sort of thing. But I'm rambling on.
You want to talk about ancient history? It's already midnight over here.
Yeah,
I want to give you
absolutely.
10 minutes of ancient history.
Yeah,
so
around an hour. So good call.
By the way, oh cool. But you were okay. Yeah, this is the this is the notebook. But moving on, the thing that just happened, big news. Big news. I'm just gonna go to my channel. And I'll click on these videos this way because I'm not even set up to do a presentation. Two videos are both titled 13,000. I just got 2,000 views on this one. We'll go in there. I'm just going to scan through it real quick and give you some information about ancient history. Okay, Rome Dog is here right now. Where's Rome Dog? He was just commenting, and here he is on this video. If you notice what I'm showing you there, let me just get it big. And are we showing it? Let's see here. How big can I go? Let me go this big. Okay, there we go. That's as big as I can get. This channel is the Russian channel. It's at online LAI. I don't want to get too deep into it. Check out my video. But what they went to is something that I discovered over a year ago. This 50-mile long canal going through the lower Adrar Plateau. I know that you, BurnEye, you've seen this already, but I've been looping it here. I'm just going to loop it a little bit. Let me loop it. I'll loop it back. I got to go back to loop it. Right about here. This is the video, and it shows the, and then we're going to talk about what they found. Where are we? Here we are. I'll just loop it. There we go. So if you know what the Eye of Africa looks like, it's up there on the left. But this canal goes through the Adrar Plateau 50 miles. Now, it points right at the Eye of Africa, and it goes down the Senegal River. I did a 20-minute shortened. I did a 2-hour live stream. It's very, you can't watch that. Go to the 20-minute one I did. I cut it down, and you can see this cut through. And then we go to their video. I'm going to go there right now for you. They have a shot right here. That's their shot. I've already done this. This is not me. That's them. Those red marks are canal segments. And they found, I think, by the way, I still got to ask them whether or not they found this because of me. But they're definitely on the right track. I've been looking at this for years now. And then they went there. That's where it got cray-cray. There's the drone footage of this canal. And so there's a few things we know. Number one, you can follow. Where's the drone footage? Okay, the drone footage. And by the way, I forgot to mention my GoFundMe. If you look me up, go to my GoFundMe and give me some few bucks. I'm going back here. Okay, here we go. That's the beginning of the drone footage. That's them right there. If you see my arrow's hiding 4 people. And that's actually not
the scale. That's wild.
Yeah, and that's just a part of it. They found this thing there. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to try to find. There's another shot of the actual canal. Let's not forget, natural rivers form with curves.
So just pause for 1 sec. I have to give some context reference from like our last videos. For all the viewers, we've done many videos together, and then we're also live on your channel. So like everyone that's following yours, but those that are new. So David has gone over a lot of Google Earth maps showing these massive channels and canals going throughout all the continents of the world, but specifically around the Eye of the Sahara in Africa, and then showing how these, what we've called and like identified as canals, like just from intuition, seeing them and what they look like. And then now you're actually showing, here's the physical evidence of like what you called a canal. Yeah, that literally is a canal. Look at how it is chiseled out of like bedrock going down like what, at least 20 meters. And it's like literally 90-degree angles, perfect. Like that is a canal. Like it's
amazing. And believe it or not, from ancient architects, Matt Simpson, he even commented on this on Twitter. He's like, I'm going to have a look. He's like, well, to take the devil's advocate point of view, don't you think it could have something to do with volcanic? I'm like, it's 50 miles long. And he's like, what? And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I'm like, "Yeah, 50 miles long. You don't have volcanoes or
right? Like, how big is the average volcano from, like, like
5 miles across? That's the biggest one, maybe even less. And that's the one up in
50.
Washington, Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens is one of the largest ones.
Yeah, I'm saying average, right? You also have to go with all the small ones and the dormant ones, right? Like that Mount St. Helens is one of the largest, you said. That's 5 miles. So this is 10 times the size of that length. And right, so it's just like what they
when you look at this thing, it's a lot more than just some erosion. It's actual megalithic work.
And how did it go straight, carving a straight rectangular square like channel for 50 miles, right? So like that's another key part. Like lava you watch coming out of the ground forming, it's like a river, it meanders, it doesn't form a straight freaking line for 50 miles that then is also a perfect rectangular squared channel for like the depth. It's just it's undeniable that that's not natural.
Yeah. And it just and by the way, I discovered this. Those guys, I don't know if they found it from me or not, but I discovered this live on the air. And what's that? Why is that so big? That's not right. Where is it? Yeah, and there's other parts of this. It points right at the Rashad structure's mouth. It points right at the mouth of the Rashad structure. To me, that's too much to ignore. And these guys, they have 300,000 subs on their channel, and it's all in Russian. So good luck. You can, by the way, it's easy to find that lake. I'll show you on Google Earth right now, because it's important that I could die tomorrow. I always say that, but it's the truth. I could die tomorrow. It's important to see this.
The world could.
We all could, and so I want this research to go on forward. I want it to go forward. So here we are going into Mauritania. Let's get 3D, get rid of the 3D, reset north, and then get rid of that, and then good. Okay, so where were we going? We're going down to this canal. It's right here. So the Adrar is two parts. The eye is up here, right? And it looks like an eye. And there's a 200-mile shoreline along that. That's a dry lake bed on the north of that. You don't know. That was a lake. Down here, I think it was a lake as well. But down here, we've got some mountains. I call that the lower Adrar. And here it says Kasbah de... This art... What? I never even heard of this. Are there any pictures? It's right here. I'm not going to go there. Maybe later I'll go there. Whatever. Because it's right where it starts. Right there. And you can see this thing.
Hold on. So you'll go there.
That's another one. Sorry.
Hold on. Yeah, I gotta show for 1 second. So tonight, after the 2 hours, if the donation, there's goals. If the goals are met of 5 super chats of a minimum of $1. So really, people only have to 5 different people have to donate at least $1. Pretty easy. But if we reach that goal, then David will go into it extra after our 2 hours. We'll do a bonus on it.
Goals.
Or if not, we will.
Good luck. It's already midnight here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And otherwise, we'll just be doing a full episode on exactly that next time, dedicated.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah. And the thing is that I'm planning on going back this February, and I'm not going here. I'm going over.
That's 1 month's time. So
yeah, it might. Yeah, long
Stigs here is going back in 1 month's time. That's 30 days from now. So if you can spare $5-10 to help go fund him, feel free to do that as well.
Thank you.
Or someone sends him a $20 or $50 donation to his GoFundMe, then I'm sure he'll do a half hour or extra hour covering 100%. This tonight.
I'll even give you the back password to my Go OnlyFans page.
No, none of that.
What? And by the way, I walked down these 2 parallel canals right
That's
here.
$1,000 donation, and those sort of
Yeah,
deals
I
are
need a little
done
more.
in
And hey,
Discord in the back rooms. But
and
never
I am
mind.
getting back on track with the painting. I've got paintings outside. I'm doing paintings right now, and I'm going to be wheeling and dealing these paintings. And guess what? Brand new. This is, you heard it first here. I'm going to do a painting of the Rishat structure. It's going to be
I love
big.
it.
It's going to be really big, like 4 foot wide by 4 foot tall. And
No. You're gonna do 3 to 4 paintings, and one's
yeah,
gonna be
well,
from
of course.
above. One's gonna be what you imagine it as Atlantis. One's gonna be doing like a lidar slash like a geological or the
Okay, look, I
heights
got my
of
art. I'm just going to flash it. If you didn't know it, I've been an artist for 35, 40 years. And this is 40 years of work. And yeah, some of them are a little comical, but I love doing landscapes. I love doing a lot of different type of work. And so this is new, my new website. It's been the same. I've had this domain for years, but I did just load this shit up just the other day. And yeah, I am interested in getting back into it. I'm going to paint the Rishat. This is okay. This scan is not that great. I want to make it more colorful. And yeah, the Adrar Plateau is a mystery. So yeah, what was it? Did I zoom into the canal? Here it is, right over here. The canal, it starts, that's a different canal right there. I keep going to the wrong canal. The other one is right here. And then you follow
that's
it.
another major part. I just have to put more context if those have been following Stigs' work or this 15 different episodes we've done together now where you present and we keep going over. There's literally like at least 50, if not 100 of these just throughout like the Eye of the Sahara area, and then it's
all
like
over.
Thousands, tens of thousands of them just like on the continent of Africa alone, yet alone there are literally tens of thousands of them on every single continent. It's wild.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's more than just canals. It's ancient quarrying. To me, it's about ancient mining. Probably something similar to the Anunnaki story with what I found in South Africa. And I've shown this, and I don't want to get into it. But what we should do is focus. So look at this canal, man. Look at that. Actually, I'm seeing something I never usually see. It's actually a new scan or something. Look at that fucking line. And it's going 50 miles through 2,000.
Right, like look at that. Like you can
Mountains.
just see from here the depth, like the one that you showed the on the ground of, that any of these are identical to that, where it's like it's at least like 2 to probably 10 meters in depth that whole way, like on both sides, going that entire 50 miles. And that like it's insane the scope of each one of those.
No, it is a mystery, and I just can't emphasize it enough. And you go into this whole area. Look at this part right here. That's it. But once you get through here, you can keep following, and that's the way it goes. When you get to the sand, this is the end. You start to see trees, so it still continues.
So hold on one sec. Go back to that barrier area.
Yeah, there's two lanes.
Pause right there. Just pause right there. What that essentially looks like is like that sand layer of mud flow that would have been whatever was the cataclysm that was the great flood of like seawater or whatever freaking covered the continents, whatever happened, and that like that's the area that like flowed out and like deposited down. And
this was the ancient sea right here. I believe this is where it started, right there. And there's a seawall too, but this is the ancient sea. And when you go in there, look at these two canals. There's 2 lanes, and look at that line here, and look at that line here. That line's just not going to show up. That was a freaking transport lane.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And look at how they open up to where the depth difference comes down. Like it literally is feeding in, like it's the entrances to the canals from like an inland sea or what's it called, the dock or when you're flooding
Well,
up and down the canals.
I think that they had a lot of power, and they showed all these little ridges. They put them there. I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but listen, those lines.
That's
They
actually
must have been washed
hydraulic
away.
engineering that you're showing and actually finding, and now
Okay,
I can
I
make
forgot
sense
to
of all
finish
of it.
my thing. So the video that I was showing you earlier, where is it? Right here. This video, they found a big old chunk of freaking oxidized iron in there. And that's what the excitement is all about. I'm going to get in there now. I'm just going to, oh, there it is right there. So this thing is about, what you can see in the video is about 12 feet long. And
12 feet
it
long.
seems, yeah, and
What's
it's like
the diameter of that?
that right there is about a foot across. He actually didn't really measure it. Let me find the other shot. He took his compass and he put his compass right up against it, right here.
Oh wow,
And
look at that.
yeah, it goes from over here on the left, right where my mouse is, to over there on the right. It's like basically it's like a drop of molten, like it's like a little wall. It's big here, it's small, it's small again and big again.
I
Big,
see what
small,
you're
big, small.
saying.
And by the way, look over here. This little rock, that rock looks like it's something important. You'll see a close-up of it in a second. I spent my time on this video. Look, I've already got 148 thumbs up. Okay, this is not a regular video for me. I've already got almost 2,000 views. That's not regular. Usually I have like less than 100. People are watching this because it's important. This is the missing link. This could possibly be.
That's a huge anomaly that's undeniable that is not geology. That is not natural. That is a giant hunk of refined iron metal element that had to have like processing to then get to that like mass and size, and then years of potential erosion or whatever the heck it was. Like it didn't get there on its own.
No, and the things that you see around it, these rocks.
Oh my god, hold on. That right there has the potential because of the iron or the isotopes of it, of when like it potentially was refined, and that it could probably be dated and placed where that iron was sourced and the time that it was like refined into that pure iron, and compared to then since like oxidizing and rusting away sort of thing. Like that actually has the potential of being tested and then giving a date of like, is it thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions? Like
they got a piece. They got a piece, and they putting it into the lab. And I don't think they're going to find out what you just said because of the way things. What are you?
Hold on.
Are you controlling that?
Be off world. Like it could come back
you
completely anonymous or oh man, anomalous. There we go. Of that, the isotopes of that iron could be like, oh, this came from the Pleiades star system, or like this came from Mars or Jupiter, right? Like it could completely come off planet results for all you know, right? Like
his name is Dimitri. He's testing it right there with his compass. He said his compass reacted. So we know that's metal. It's probably oxidized metal, and yeah, it's probably very old, like more than just a few thousand, like 6,000, 12,000 years old. And this is right in the middle of that canal. And that's my big news, man. It's exciting.
That's huge. Exciting that literally is huge, and that. Now that you've identified that one, I guarantee you'll be able to start finding a bunch of them. And hopefully when you're there in a month's time, that you'll be able to either get to this one or find another one, or get a few of them and actually get some samples for us that, eventually we'll be able to
let's remember that canal points right at the Rishat structure. As I just backed out, you can see the mouth of the Rishat structure. Also, an interesting thing, right? How did that mouth create itself? Is it a volcanic? And by the way, let's not forget, volcanoes are. Mount St. Helens is 5 miles wide at the top. This is 45 kilometers wide. I don't think it's a volcano, and the canal points right at it. I don't know if that's natural or not, but the canal is definitely unnatural. And then what I was going to say next, actually, no, where I'm going, what I wanted to say next was I'm doing a GoFundMe, trying to raise a couple bucks here and there to go here. And you see that white spot, that helps you get there, but it's right here, actually. And I think that this is totally related to ancient mining. So that's where I'm going. Now, those guys went over to they call it the Plato's Channel. I call it the Rashat Canal because it points right at the Rashat. But this is an ancient quarry site, and that's just not natural. That is an intelligently designed monument that these quarry masters created. Look at those lines. Look at those parallel lines in there. And you see the so-called relief cut. That's just not something wind and what was the one who was talking about erosion? I'm sorry, erosion doesn't do that. No matter
it's
how
like
much you want to say
erosion is what's rounded them off slightly over like tens of thousands, if not hundreds or millions of years of like the natural erosion. But what originally cut those channels, those precision, like defined length, like that's the exact same thing that would have cut or built or did whatever the other actual canals you were showing did. Like it's the same civilization, technology, and macro scale of terraforming.
Well, yeah, and in my opinion, it's got to be 25,000 or more years old. Look what's going on over here. You can see straight lines. When you do this, those parallel cut lines that you're seeing now, I used to think those are natural. They're trying to cover it up. Look at them. Look at that scan. That's a cover up. But you can see the parallel lines. I think that's the oldest cut through. And then later, what I showed you later, this stuff, I think it could be a later project. But somebody was going in there and quarrying out that material. I've shown you in Algeria. I don't want to go off on a tangent. But even in the Rashat structure, as Randall Carlson said, there were chert outcrops in this structure being quarried by somebody. Who the hell was that somebody? And I do believe that Randall Carlson was talking about these right here. So that's a different spot, but I want to get out here. I want to see this. This is crazy, crazy stuff. Look at this. Look at those lines right there. And they say, oh, that's natural. That's erosion.
But
oh, I've lost you? I'm not showing you the right thing.
No,
I'm not showing you the right screen.
You're showing the right thing. I said that's anything but natural.
I think we're seeing a. Oh, there it is. Okay, I had to refresh the page. Yeah, look at how. There you go, right there. Look at those lines, and you say, "Oh, look at that straight line." I already showed it. I want to do it on my Twitter. I'm going to go there right now so I can show you a couple of Twitter ones that I just showed, and it's showing you stuff in. It's right here. Now, this is a video I just did. That's the thumbnail. There is a new find. We just showed it. But, okay, wait. I'm in the wrong spot. Sorry. Let me go back. I want to show you something in the Grand Canyon. It's down here. And it's like insane. It's insane. You can't tell me these lines were created by natural erosion. Look at that one. That one is just insane. There's no way that's just like, oh, yeah, that just wind did that. No, it didn't. That's a lie.
100%.
Look at this one. This is the Grand Canyon. And you and I are supposed to try to go there, but I have to believe, honest in my part, there's no way we're going to get to the spot because I've already studied it.
Well, we might not get to that spot, but we're going to get to one or two, and we're going to choose which ones we go to before then. And it's going to be either, probably the beginning or the end of September or early October. We will make it there.
I'm not against it, bro. I don't know where I'm going to be. I honestly don't want to make any promises, but I mean,
That's okay.
it sounds good to me. And I think you were going to come here. I'm hopefully can still be here when you can get down here. Look at this thing, man. Look at those lines. And you're telling me, oh, those were naturally eroded away. The bedrock has this predisposition to do this type of so-called jointing. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to fall for it any longer. That's right there is the evidence we need to prove that ancient advanced. Look at this. That's the Grand Canyon. Here's Algeria. And over here on the left, you can see this type of score marks. I found that in a lot of places, but over on the right, you can see the quarry field after they've taken those blocks away. Even though they've gone through that 45-degree cut, they still seem to figure out a way to get these big old 10 meter by 10 meter squares out of there. And then, I don't know. I mean, you've seen all this before. I don't know who in your audience has or has not. But I mean, to me,
50%.
this is the freaking a smoking gun right here.
That keeps showing up over and over again around the world. Like you've shown in the Sahara, you're showing in the Grand Canyon, you show some in Australia, you show some in South Africa, all over.
Yeah, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. South Australia, South Africa. My favorite thing is my mound that I found. I'll just show that real quick. But the mound is along these straight lines, and then there it is. There's another straight line. Zoom into the mound and fucking check it out, man. You say that's natural? You're fucking crazy. Sorry.
Those are terraces. You can literally see the terraces going up and down on a large scale. Like, that's wild.
Well, first of all, you can say, okay, how does
pause right there on the right side, the bottom right side, all of those, that's terraces.
Yeah,
right down there, right?
I agree. I don't know how old those are. Part of me says they're very old, and I'll tell you why. Now that we're down in South Africa, I'll just zoom into the part that counts. The mountains there creating the great escarpment. This whole area right here. So that's Lesotho. And there's a diamond mine over here you can easily find. And when you are in this whole neighborhood, all this stuff looks like it's been terraced. Everything you look, it's been terraced, and it's like these little ledges like that. Okay, look. Let's look at that right there. So you see what you could say, oh, that's natural, right? But right below it, no, that's not natural. That's been terraced. That's Lesotho, right? And you can go all over this mountain and find that, but nobody talks about it.
Look at that, right? And what you're showing there is what I've found in a lot of places, like the Badland Guardians of Alberta. Look at that. Like, they're all over. But that is the we are finishing the segment up of this, and now we have to finish on to the last half hour. We're going to discuss and tie up the Trump's Citrep. Thank you all for being here. Sorry about all the crypto talk, but we had to kind of explain it to give a basis of understanding what Trump and his meme is and the theme of it and how substantial and different it is compared to your average rug, your average project, and the system and setup that they have. And just, wow. Like, it's crazy. All right. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Wishing everyone a blessed and happy 2025. And we'll be back soon with more content. We're going to be doing Metamaterial Mondays, as well as Megalithic, Marvelous Megaliths Mondays, alternating back and forth each Monday between the two. So it'll be like science focused one Monday, and then alternative history the next, back and forth. Wednesdays, woo-woo Wednesdays, and Fridays, every second Friday, I'm going to be doing the free energy Fridays, and try to link back in there with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen out of that group, get back into the APEC. I've literally got solid 50 different top tier guests and minds and people scheduled to come on over the next couple of months in the working and booking and going to be happening, and so much to come. But this is all you're getting tonight, today. God bless. Thank God Trump didn't get killed. Hopefully, hopefully this is the peak of clown world, or it doesn't completely break down into meme madness and just being one giant meme of a rug pull that burns the entire world down. That's how.
You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just BurnEye. Hey, BurnEye just like last week, huh?
Weekend at Bernie's.